Congratulations to LSU and Coach Ed Orgeron for his victory over Clemson last night in the College Football National Championship game. Great redemption story for Coach Ed. We had him in the palm of our hands here in Southern California at USC and chose not to retain him as a head coach, and he moved on. Did some great things afterwards and ended up landing in the perfect place for him at Louisiana State University. He's from Louisiana, and he's one of their own. And I think that's what I want to address for a minute. You know, when you're trying to get a coaching job, you know, people always complain about, you know, different reasons why certain people don't get promotions or don't get hired. And I heard something on the radio the other day that I thought was interesting. One of the decision makers, maybe it was an owner, was talking about why he hired a particular coach. And he said, he reminds me of me when I was that age. And so I thought how important it is for an applicant, you know, and a prospective coach, to be accepted by that interview committee or the person that's ultimately making the decision. And so there's all sorts of reasons why anybody might not remind that interviewer and that decision maker of themselves. You know, some of it, most obvious, is the racial component. There's, you know, race, religion, your looks, your hair, your beard, earrings, tattoos, you know, all sorts of things that when someone's going to interview for a job, not just a coaching position, you have to be accepted by that interview committee or the decision maker. And when it's a coaching job, you know, they need to know and have complete faith that you own that interview room, you're going to own the boardroom, you're going to own the banquet room with the boosters, and they have to trust that you're going to be able to do that before they believe that you're going to own your locker room. Because there's not a huge leap, as I've said many times, from the locker room to the boardroom, not only in how coaches run their organizations, but how players learn to behave. Obviously, you have to be you. You can't try to pretend to be somebody else, because that lack of authenticity will come through loud and clear. But you also have to consider, is this the me that I want people to see? Right? For everything from, you know, your speech and your approach to your appearance. Right? They say dress for the job that you want, not for the job that you have. So is this the me that I want them to see? I need to project the image for the job that I'm trying to get, not the job that I presently have or the person that I currently am. At the same time, be authentic and you be you. So that interview committee, they need to experience that you own that interview room, trust that you're going to own the boardroom, that you're going to own the banquet room with the boosters, and they need to feel like you can do those things before they trust that you're going to own the locker room with your team. So in order to prepare for that, you've got to spend extensive time preparing a packet and outlining your program, from how you're going to market your program, to how you're going to recruit players to your program, to how you're going to motivate and discipline, off-season programs, and leave no stone unturned so that they know you're prepared for anything that might be presented to you along the way. And you need to convince them that you care about that place more than anybody else that's going to interview. A lot of people, I think, go into boardrooms and they might care about themselves and care about the job, but I think that decision makers want to know that you care about them too, because it's not going to be very easy for you to develop a culture of caring if you don't care yourself. So demonstrate a deep caring for the institution that you're interviewing for. Demonstrate that you have thought out the process as extensively as the next guy, and more so. and that you're going to put in an effort and try more than the next guy, and show that you're going to enjoy that along the way, and make sure that your players are going to enjoy the process as well. And I come back to that almost every time, no matter what we're doing, is that no matter what situation that you're in, the things that you need to do is you need to care, you need to think, you need to try, and you need to enjoy it along the way. And if you do those things and make sure that the people that you lead do those things, then I think that you're going to be able to convey that message to somebody else. And I think, in terms of Coach Orgeron, getting back to him, he's demonstrated that there's nobody that cares about the university more than he does, the state more than he does, and certainly his players. And he demonstrated that at USC, and he's doing that at LSU as well. And I couldn't be happier to see that happen. I really thought in the championship game we saw a couple of coaches that love their players, love their institution, and display a positive approach to coaching that I think if more coaches emulate, the better our profession is going to be. So go out there and be great. Coach Loke, out.